like for example, this lot that looks good is it wasn't. I mean, we lost 65 buildings. There were 11 people found deceased on this property alone. And so it's devastating how what might look good now actually wasn't.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio,
Tumwa, Iowa.
Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
My name's Jason Peters. I'm out here in Swannanoa, North Carolina, covering hurricane relief all across western North Carolina. Today we are at the Blessing Barn, ran by one Kristen Hicks. Kristen, yes. So my first question for you is, what is the Blessing Barn? What inspired you to do something? Yep. Talk to me.
So my family and I live about a mile up the road. And when Hurricane Helene hit, we were okay, but so many community members were not. So we woke up every day just looking for ways to serve, and we were doing Meals on Wheels and all the things. And then a friend of mine said, I have a truckload full of donations, and I don't know what to do with them. And I said, well, let me talk to my friend at Pineview, Mike Stewart, he's the owner. And I said, do you mind if I borrow a shed for me to just house it until I figure out where to put it? Well, people were bringing donations everywhere, and they were kind of being left outside to the elements and debris, and it would rain, and people would still get them. And I'm like, there's got to be something with more dignity and some normalcy. So we turned it into a Blessing Barn where people can come and shop for essentials. I say shop, but it's all donated. It's all free. And then we became a 501c3. We hosted a holiday shop for Christmas. And we were actually given a new Blessing Barn that we just moved into. And so, yeah, big things, big things.
So you live just a mile away. As you drive across this road, you see a lot of devastation near the river, anything that's near water. But then some things are completely safe. And it almost feels like there's two Asheville's. There's the Asheville that's safe, and then there's the Asheville that's in a complete emergency. Sure. Can you speak to that?
Well, and some of it, like for example, this lot that looks good is it wasn't. I mean, we lost 65 buildings. There were 11 people found deceased on this property alone. And so it's devastating how what might look good now actually wasn't. And so, like, you know, water went all the way across the road. And so, you know, there are parts that may look okay, and then which they may be, and then there are some that are just devastating. And so it's going to take time. It's just going to take time.
So sorry for like this a harsh question here, but you said 11 people were found here deceased. Mm-hmm. The total number that the government has put out is 104, which would mean a tenth of the people that died in the disaster would be here.
And I have 4 kids who, one of them is a coach at a local high school, and he lost, it's called Craigstown, they lost 11 family members. So the whole number, I don't believe it at all, because I know of 20 people, 20 plus people, 22 exactly. And then as the storm was coming, we visually saw several. So it's like, you know, to me, it's like we know the truth, and we don't know the exact number. We just know that they won't be forgotten.
Well, I'm sorry for your loss, first of all. And Status Coup, the outlet that I'm here on behalf of, and myself, we have reached out to FEMA to try to get a number or the number. I don't know why it's been so downplayed in the reporting. I don't either.
I think it's just to minimize the support needed. Because, I mean, and listen, I am praying for LA and all the wildfires. By no means do I wish that on anybody. I just want equal support, because, you know, they are receiving 100%, and me, who I didn't lose anything but did apply for $750, like a lot of my family and a lot of my community members got denied for that. And that was supposed to help supplement for our food loss and our gas, like the money that we had to pay for generators. And we all got denied. I mean, not all, I'm sure some people did, but I've appealed it and everything. So it's like, you know, I just don't feel like it's the same.
And either way, that's $750,
Yep,
you know?
Yep.
So talk to me about the Blessing Barn.
Yep.
Have you had any government assistance in what you're doing here?
No. No, and it's all been from not just local community members, but from people all the way from like Michigan and Florida and New York, and we've had quilts sent from Alaska. I mean, it's been from all over, Pennsylvania. I mean, and we are called the Blessing Project because we have the Blessing Barn, and we actually just purchased our first bus. So that is actually our Blessing bus over there, and so we have stocked it full of essentials.
Right over there, the Chamberlain Racing.
Yeah.
Was that donated by Kristen Chamberlain or something?
Nope. Actually, we raised money for that bus, and they did give us a good deal on it. But we raised the money through everybody coming together and giving, and we raised it. And so now we're stocking it up and going to displaced communities that lost their vehicles. And so we're getting to people that can't necessarily get to us.
Just while I'm here, yesterday we did a live stream from Haven on a Hill in Waynesville. Have you had any interaction with them?
So we got the bus on Saturday from Indiana, and we packed it on Monday, and we did our first route on Wednesday, and then the storm came. So we have different routes that are coming in, but that is on our list. So the bus is fairly new. We haven't even gotten it rewrapped, but that is the next step.
It is pretty cool how it's wrapped. It'll keep you, that'll draw eyes to it. There's a lot of racing fans here in North Carolina.
That's right. I'll be a racing fan. It doesn't matter. We just got to get to the people.
So I've seen the operation you have since we've been here.
Yep.
We've seen volunteers clock in to do their shift. We've seen people dropping stuff off, donations, and then we've also seen people coming here to get stuff. Yep. Has this become your full-time job? Is this what did you used to do before Helene?
Well, I'm a mom of 4. I own 2 businesses. And yes, this has become my full-time. I still operate those 2, but it's after the kids go to bed and it's late at night. So, it's a lot of sacrifice. I wouldn't change it for the world. This is my passion, so I love helping people. And so, we're busy, but God is good, so we give him the glory.
What do you find people are in the most need of? What is the thing that you hear most? Oh, we need this.
Mm-hmm. So, coming from the people that need stuff, it is heat source and propane. And so currently in this state, what we need is the same thing because it goes so quickly. We just had somebody donate a pretty substantial amount just going to heat. So we get to go pick that up here today or tomorrow. So we're excited about that. But just maintaining and making sure that these people that are living outdoors or in a temporary shelter, which is, a blessing. It's better than a tent, have heat so that they don't freeze.
We hear a lot about propane. I know that there's 2 propane drives tomorrow on Tuesday. We're going probably live from a propane drive tomorrow. Why do you think that is the primary thing? Is it just because it's the winter months, it's getting cold, people, because we had heard reports of people freezing to death too.
Yeah, they don't have power. A lot of them don't have generators. So the only thing is a propane buddy heater is a common one that we see. And those propane tanks can last, the small green ones can last 4 to 6 hours. And so the propane you have to swap out often, plus carbon monoxide readers and things like that. But at least with that they can stay warm and not freeze. But food, we've got Blunt Pretzel, we've got tons of World Kitchen operations across the city. That I don't know if World Kitchen is a federally ran organization or a nonprofit.
They're a nonprofit that has ties to the government, but is not part of the government. It's ran by a man named Jose Andres, I believe.
Okay, well, they have been absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. They have fed. They haven't stopped feeding. They are continuing at multiple locations, but they are a blessing.
Okay, well, how can people support the Blessing Barn?
Yeah, we have our website, which is theblessingproject.org. And on our website, you can find ways to volunteer, to get involved if you're local. We have an Amazon wish list for items that can be shipped to my home instead of here because I may not be here picking up kids. And then financial resources, because honestly, I can find a lot of the stuff cheaper locally, and I like supporting local businesses. So sometimes whenever people can just give resources, we can go buy things locally, we can fill up gas, we can go buy what's empty and needed now instead of waiting on Amazon. But we'll take whatever anybody is able to give.
So you had mentioned displaced communities. About how many displaced communities do you think there are in the greater Asheville area?
It's tough to say. I know that, because of our location, we run, like right here is the Swannanoa River, and this highway here is US 70. What runs perpendicular is old US 70. So there are communities all throughout, the Swannanoa River and the French Broad and then that's not including, they go all the way up to, Marshall and Burnsville and all the things. So, it is, there's no telling. I will tell you this, I am friends with a lot of people, with a lot of different, organizations that are taking care of different things, and the need for building temporary housing, there is waiting list. So to say that everybody is out of a tent is not true. It's not the case. I mean, we still have a lot of people living in tents, and a lot of people, we still need RVs. I mean, it's too many to count, I'm sure.
Well, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate you. We are at the Blessing Barn in Swannanoa, North Carolina. Go to theblessingproject.org.
Yes, theblessingproject.org. Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Signing off for Status Coup.